Alright, we're in up in Manada Gap this afternoon. It's a Sunday afternoon, and looking for several things here. I'm going to be looking for a furnace, an iron furnace that's out here. Supposedly there's some Confederate POWs that were kept here during the Civil War. I think they were kept in Harrisburg at first, and they sent them up here to work in the furnace. I think their main job was as wood cutters to cut wood for the furnaces, and I think the furnace is back in these woods somewhere, so we're going to look for that. And then, well, John's here with me, my friend John, but we're also going to look, there's a church nearby where they're all buried. They apparently all died roughly the same time. They think maybe there was disease or something. So, and there's supposedly some buried back in the woods maybe here too. I don't know what we're going to find. I've never been here before, so we'll see. Heard there's not much left of the furnace, but we'll see what's back here, so go check things out. There's John, brave enough to come with me today. I should mention too, this is on the horseshoe trail here in Manada Gap. And this is, what is this? Furnace Road, I think this was called. So we're gonna go see what we can find out here. Well, there's a split in the trail up here. I'm guessing this goes up to where the old furnace is. Oh yeah, there it is. You can see the ruins up here. Yeah, so there is something here. There's like a mound of rubble. We'll walk around, check it out. Yeah, you can see that these are the pieces of slag from the iron furnace. All kinds of them here. Yeah, we found this. What'd you say this was, John?
The original foreman's chair.
This is the original, yeah, foreman's chair from 1836.
Yeah, pretty nice cushions.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this furnace is from 1836. Not the couch though, but the furnace was built in 1836.
Yeah, the couch was 1837.
Yeah, 1837 for the couch. So we're gonna walk around a little bit more. Looks like there's not a whole lot here, but we'll see. I'm gonna check things out some more. Well, so far there's not really a whole lot to see. We're up on I'm up top of this mound here. I guess the iron furnace was on top of here. There's no stonework left behind or anything. But I'm gonna keep looking around, see what I can find here. Mostly overgrown. Most of those old iron furnaces had that stone structure with the openings for the, you know, went up the airflow and stuff. I'm not seeing any stone here at all. Just a lot of that slag from the furnace. It's all over the place here. Almost looks like glass. Yeah, there's just tons of this slag. Just not really seeing any, except for this great big mound of slag. I don't really see any signs of the iron furnace anywhere. It's kind of like a raised up flat area here. I know they say you can find the foundations of the huts where the workers were in too, but I don't think I'm going to find any of that today with all the overgrowth. That's maybe like a winter adventure to come look for those things. I'm going to look around a little bit more. I don't know where John is. Left him back there somewhere. But I'm going to walk around just a little bit more. There's a cool house up here that was part of the furnace, and then we're also going to go to the church where the Confederates that worked here, they're buried up. There's like 15 of them buried in a mass grave. We'll go check that out then too. Hopefully I can find that church. Yeah, this whole mound behind me is nothing but this slag. Some cool pieces. Glass, and then you have pieces that look like this. So they must have produced quite a bit of what they call pig iron here, because there's a lot of this slag here. I just wish there was something else. But oh well, keep looking around a little bit. Well, I'm trying to get to the creek up here, but this is rapidly turning into a swamp. So I'm not sure. Alright, gotta find another way. Yeah, so here's the creek, Manada Creek. And somewhere along here there was probably a dam for the iron furnace. Not sure where though. I see a bunch of rock down there. Here's a cool mushroom. It's a rusula. Well, I hate to admit it, but John pointed it out here on the side. On the other side of the trail is where the stone structure is.
Lucky there.
Yeah.
I just saw the trail and I looked up and it was
yeah, there's a trail here.
There's stone structure.
Yeah, up there. So then, here's where they made the stuff, and then they dumped it over where that slag pile was back there. All right, let's go check this out. All right, so this is pretty cool. It pains me to admit that John's the one that found it, so.
Well, at least I did something right. I have more confidence in
Yeah, so here it is. It's still not as good a shape as some of them are, but it's still here. Yeah, so like I said, this was built 1836, and they had Confederate soldiers from the Civil War working here at the spot. At least, well, they were cutting wood, and I guess they were fueling the fires for the furnace here. Like I said, they all died at one time. I think it's because of disease, but like I said, some of them are supposed to be buried out in the woods near where their houses were, but we're not going to find those today, not in this overgrowth. So it's cool we found this. Well, John found it, if I have to admit it. So yeah, it's kind of a piece of history here. They had Confederate prisoners of war here at this spot working here. Now it looks like this though. Yeah, so I've climbed up to the top of the furnace, and here's one of the chimney stacks, I guess you could call it, for the furnace. The top here is all kind of filled in there. That's kind of cool. Don't know how safe it is up here, but this is what I do. Stupid stuff like this. Well, it's not entirely stupid. Adventurous. I'm gonna explore around a little bit more.
Pretty cool, though.
Yeah, down there's John. But there's, looks like there's something else over here too. I gotta turn this off though. Yeah, here's some more stonework, and here's some of the iron that was holding it all together. And over here's some more stonework. I see a lot more stonework over there. Yeah. It's just so overgrown. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. There's some stonework back there. It's almost like this is a set of, well, I'm standing on like a section too. It's like this is a set of bridge piers or something that leads away from the furnace. Because I'm seeing a big mound of stuff back there. I almost have to come here in the winter when all this vegetation is gone. But John just found something else down there, so I'm gonna try make my way over there. Yeah, I'm definitely coming back here sometime again. There's just a lot here. A lot more than I expected. Like, it's hard to see it because it's all overgrown. And it's muggy and terribly buggy out here too. Yeah, this is what John found down here.
Yeah.
Just another, there's all kinds of stuff out here. There's a trail that goes up that way too. So yeah, definitely come back here again in the winter when you can actually see stuff. Well, there's definitely a lot more to see here, but like I said, I'll be back here in the fall, I promise, or the winter, but the bugs are starting to eat us alive out here. But now we're gonna go to the church cemetery where a bunch of these soldiers are buried, and we're gonna see if we can find their grave site. Whoop, man, gotta get out of here. Yeah, so back in the truck, but yeah, back in there is where all that stonework is. There's a whole lot, probably a lot of other foundations back there of, you know, the homes that they lived in and other buildings. That's probably what we're seeing, but it's so overgrown. I can't do it, but there's a cool house up here we're gonna check out. That might have been the Iron Master's house, or I think they said the building that was the county, what do you call it, the company store is here somewhere too. I don't know if that's it up here, but it looks pretty old. Let's check it out. Yeah, so that's the house over there. You can tell that's an old house. So that's definitely associated with the iron furnace that was out here. And we're gonna try and find that church now, where the graves are. Alright, so this is the Manada United Christian Church. Little white church here, and across the road is a cemetery. Oh, and I see the Confederate flags. So that's where they're buried. Cool, they are here. So let's check this out. Hey, here it is. That's cool. Got the flags here. Oh, it says there's 3 here. Three unknown Confederate soldiers. I think the website I read said there was more buried here, but I guess, like I said, there was more buried back at where the furnace was. And they mentioned another church too, but I couldn't find that one. Maybe I'll have to find that one later, but there's at least 3 here. That's pretty cool. Yes, that is just pretty cool. I mean, ever since I've started making these videos and whatnot, I've just learned so much that I wouldn't have known if I hadn't done the research and came out to these places. So this is just, otherwise you don't know this stuff is out here. So, you know, if you're watching these videos, you'll do your own research, come out and see these places. It's pretty awesome. They're just out here waiting for people to discover this stuff. It's pretty cool.